Innovative content. Global audience.
Hello viewers, how are you doing? You're welcome to SLTV. Of course, I'm reaching you live from Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This is People in the News. Yes, you know how we do it here every Fridays. We bring you people making waves, people making headlines, people making the news in the community, in our society as a whole, in fact, in our nation as a whole. My name is Patience OKOSUN, and you are watching People in the News. As of last week, Monday, we spoke about our Honorable Pastor E.A. Adeboye. We talked about how he has impacted, how he has made waves in the news. And today, we'll be talking about somebody else, somebody that is actually making waves, somebody that is actually doing a lot, somebody that is making headlines, a woman of dignity, a woman of capacity. In fact, I respect this woman a lot. I feel like it's time for us to talk about her. Let's talk about her family. We're talking about her career, her family, her education, her philanthropic art, her success story, her achievements, her movies, and of course her award. Everything concerning this woman. Who am I talking about today? I am talking about no other person but Mosumola Abdul. Mosumola Abdul. Yes, of course, the moment I mention her name, I know a lot of persons will be like, whoa, that woman is doing a lot. Let's not forget, not just a lot for the country, she's actually carrying a lot of women along. When we talk about fashion, she carries along. When we talk about media, when we talk about presenting, when we talk about a whole lot of things, she's a woman that supports women. She's a woman that supports women. That's the word exactly. Because in our country today, when it comes to woman to woman, it's quite difficult. It's quite rare when women don't really want to assist their fellow woman. They are secretive. They are very personal when it comes to them. But then this particular Mosumola Abdul is one woman in the world today that has actually helped a lot of women, bring them into limelight. Are we talking about acting? Are we talking about media, presenting? Are we talking about fashion? What are we not talking about? Everything. She's there. She's up and doing. And so let's dive a little bit into her family right now. Mosumola Abdul, also known as Mo Abdul. Of course, we all know her as Mo Abdul. Mo Abdul. Actually, that's the popular name. That's a name you call that rings a bell everywhere. Mo Abdul, born on 11th September 1964 in Hammersmith, West London, to an engineer father and a catering mother. She is the eldest of three sisters. She's also a mother and a grandmother. Yes, of course, I agree. She's the eldest of three sisters. Now, when you even talk about her family, she's there. She's the first. I feel like there's this special blood attached to first daughters. I don't know how to say this, but then she has this blood in her that she can carry people along. She helps women. She helps people a lot. Mo Abdul is the first of three sisters, and married Tokumbo Abdul, a lawyer and businessman. They have two children, and she's also related through her husband to Feyikemi Abdul, aka FK Abdul, a Nigerian influencer and entrepreneur. That's it about our lady Mo Abdul. Actually, yes. Now, who are we not talking about? We're talking about this popular influencer, media influencer, what you call the people like the Linda, people like who influencer, top media presenters. She has actually brought them into limelight. Now we're talking about education. Now, yes, Mo Abdul attended the Midgate College, Gillingham campus, the University of Westminster, the Ringway School, and sixth from college and more. That's the school she attended in London. Of course, we all know she has been in London. She literally did all her life there, spent all her life there. She studied there, and she had gained quite a whole lot from her educational sector. Now let's quickly dive into her career. Her career is broad. This is one place, this is one part I really want us to listen to, because we will learn a lot from this section today. Of course, we'll be playing videos to back up my talk today, because you have to sit and relax. You will learn quite a lot. She's a very educated person, so she speaks very well. Now let's dive into her career. Recognized, and I have a research here that says recognized the as one of the continent's most successful women. Of course, we know Mo Abdul is very, very successful. I admire that woman a lot. She's one person I look up to as a presenter. She's one person I look up to, knowing that she never even had the experience. Now, we all know, while we go forward, you will see that she never even had the experience. Today, she's referred to as African opera. Why is she even referred to opera of African? Now, we'll get to know that as we move forward. Now, listen. Recognized as one of the continent's most successful women, Mo Abdul has built an entertainment empire on the back of a desire to tell the African story in its own word, with Ebony Live TV striving. We all know she's the owner, she's the CEO of Ebony Live TV. Yes, we'll get to that point where we'll talk about the TV. With Ebony Live TV striving, the decision to step onto the Nollywood treadmill presented itself, and she subsequently had a hand in producing the top 3 films on the industry all-times box office grossing charts, with taking of nearly 1.4 billion naira for Ebony Live films. Now, films like The Wedding Party, 50, and Chief Daddy, which made its worldwide streaming debut on Netflix on 15th of March. Now, this is part of her success story. Yes, if you agree with me, she's a very successful woman. And then Mo Abdul began her career in human resources in 1987 at the Atlas Recruitment Consultancy firm in the UK. That's where she began her career in the UK. If you ask me, there's a whole lot more had done. I think I need to really read more about this. Now let's ask ourselves, why is Mo referred to as African opera of African? We really need to know why. Of course, we all know Oprah Winfrey, the popular presenter. Now, why is Mo referred to African opera? Now let's get to, if you're reading this now, if you're listening to me now, this is how she's being referred to as African opera. Back in 2006, with her 2 children having reached their teens, Musumola Mo Abdul decided she wanted to make a rather upward career change. Though she was a successful human resources executive for oil giant ExxonMobil, her heart was set on migrating from the boardroom chair to the chat show sofa. There was just one problem. Of course, we all know she worked with oil company. She was an executive, but then she had this passion, she had this cry that she doesn't want to, that's not where she wants to belong. She wants to change her career. She wants a youth son. She needs something different. Maybe she had this calling. She's feeling, when there is a calling, of course, when it comes, you would definitely know. And then she felt like she needed something. This is not her path. Though she was doing extremely well, working in the oil sector, she was doing, of course, we all know oil sector is one major place in our country today that brings a whole lot to the table, that boosts the economy. And then she was there, but then she wasn't that satisfied. She needed a change in career. There was just one problem, and that problem was the Nigerian businesswoman had no TV experience whatsoever. That was the major problem she had. Now, I'm answering the question why she's being referred to as opera of African. Now, she has been working in the oil sector. She wanted a change in career, but then she had no experience at all when it comes to the media. That was the major problem she was facing. And then at last, the world first Black female billionaire, she wrote several mails to she wrote several mails reaching out to Hillary Clinton. At least the Hamilton Smith born presenter has had Hillary Clinton and Christine Lagarde on her show and built up a successful TV empire from scratch. Now, she wrote several mails to Oprah Winfrey when she has seen Oprah Winfrey work, shows, and other things. She wrote mails. She needed coaching. She needed experience. She had no experience and she wants to go into this field. So she admired this lady, Oprah, and then she sent several mails to her, reaching out to her, but she never had a reply. She never got a reply. So here's the story. And last, the world's first black female billionaire never replied to Abudu. She never replied to Abudu. But that didn't stop her in the 7 years since she made her first sketchy TV pilot. The 49 years old has created Moments with Mo. Of course, we all know her show, Moments with Mo, where people come to talk to her. It's a very, very interesting show, Moments with Mo. The first African daily talk show to be syndicated across the continent. She had interviewed the likes of Hillary Clinton, IMF chief Christine, musician R. Kelly, and designer Diane Vaughan, and journalists around the world have been quick to label her African answer to Oprah. You see, these are things she did. These are things she went so far. She could even interview people as high as and mighty as Hillary Clinton, as high as mighty as IMF chief Christine, and then also musician R. Kelly. That's how far she has gone. She became a very good presenter. She built herself. However, Abudu Dream did not originate in African or even Middle American. It began in 1970s. Kent. I was born in England. This is Abudu talking. I was born in England and I am very at home here, she says. I went to school in London and Tunbridge Wells. I was probably the second or third black person in that school, and you find that you are being continually asked questions that just jungle your mind. And then she said while she was there, people just kept asking her questions that just jungle her mind. Now listen to the funny questions people ask her. People ask her, do you guys live in trees? You can imagine. Now you can imagine their mentality out there concerning Africans. They ask her questions like, do Africans live in trees? Do we live in trees? Can imagine. And then, do you guys dance around fire? Like, I don't get it. How do we dance around fire? Those are the questions she got while she was there. What do you eat for breakfast? Those are funny questions she got while she was there. Forever and ever, I always felt that I had to fight to prove who I was. For me, I think somewhere deeply buried in my subconscious. So she attempted to contact the woman best placed to provide some pertinent advice for her. Now, these are the things if British ignorance prompted her ambitious, now she said what prompted her ambition to want to change career, it's the ignorance of the British. They don't really know the African, and she felt the need to show Africa out there. And these are the things that actually prompted her ambition. Now, if British ignorance prompted her ambition, it was Abudu's time slugging away in the British workplace that furnished her with the skills to market herself as the face of a modern African. Believe me, there's nothing I have not sold in England, she says. She says, I've sold insurance, I've done cold calling, I've done all kinds of jobs. So it just arms you with the right ammunition to be able to go out there and sell anything to anyone. Now, these are some of the stories Abdul share as to why people call her the Oprah of Africa. And there's a clip where she spoke about her success story, her career story. She was talking to the women out there, addressing them to be of help to each other, addressing them to do whatever they feel they want to do without limits. In fact, Mo has done a lot for the women. We'll be watching this clip. Do not go anywhere. After this clip, we'll come up with more stories, more things this woman has actually done for our great country. Out there, both home and away, both home and abroad, she has actually made a lot of impact. Let's take a look at this clip and see what she says to the women.
all I can do is share. Spend more time with friends that encourage you. Because as you grow, some of your friends may not be growing with you, but spend more time with business associates that encourage you. It's very important. Never underestimate your competitors. Keep being the benchmark they're trying to beat. It means you must keep innovating, you must keep being creative. Share your recipe of success with others. Because your journey is not my journey. My journey isn't your journey. Our journey is different. But there may be certain things that I can learn from you and certain things that you can learn from me. That we can both together be the best that we can be. Because there are not going to be a million TV channels in Nigeria. But if you're running a branding company or an event management company, you could provide service to me. So I can share my pain with you. You can share yours with me. Maybe I can help you brand. I can put some adverts on television. We can look at that exchange. I'm not sure there's enough of that happening amongst women. And men are very good at doing that. They're not emotional about business. They just see it as a function in terms of how they need to survive, pay the bills and all the other things that are demanded of them. Success can create enemies. Be wary of that. It can create enemies. But in terms of it creating the enemies, it's therefore important for you to keep succeeding. Because as much as you're successful, someone is waiting for you to fall so they can occupy that space. So you can't afford to be sleeping at any point in time. You've really got to be out there looking for the most innovative ways to ensure your business can grow. Never be too proud to say sorry. I've learned it took me a long time to learn that, especially with those that I work with. At times I'll go off on a screaming match and I'll pick up the phone and say, I'm sorry I screamed, I'm sorry that I was just having a bad day, whatever it may be. But I think it's important to learn that we are human, we're going to make mistakes, and let's admit those mistakes and stay humble as humble as we can.
Welcome back. Of course, we've heard about all she has to say to the women out there, how she has encouraged them to be successful. In fact, she even gave some business tips as to some successful tips as to how to be successful as a woman. Now, as a woman, if you don't know Mo Abdul, then I feel there is a problem somewhere. You need to go follow her on her page, listen to her when she speaks. These are women we look up to as role model. These are women that are doing great things out there. These are women that were never limited. If she can excel in a field where she never had an experience, then to tell you how determined she was. And that's what she said to the women out there. We should learn as women to assist other women out there. As a woman, you should be able to assist your fellow woman out there and not be secretive, not keep your own your idea and not hide your success tips to yourself. You should be happy to see that your fellow woman out there is doing well just like yourself. And then, like I said, we're talking about her success story. She has also went further to be the CEO of Ebony Live TV. Now, this Ebony Live TV is an entertainment TV channel owned by Mosumola Abdul, popularly called Mo Abdul. Of course, we all know that. It was launched on DSTV on July 2013, after which the station was later added to DSTV in September 2014. After partnering and satisfying the executive arrangement Ebony Live TV had with DSTV for over 5 years, Ebony Live TV ended its arrangement with DSTV and proceeded on August 2018 to start broadcasting on StarTimes network. The partnership with StarTimes was to foster and improve homegrown content to viewers and subscribers in African, and to also allow Nigerians and viewers generally enjoy the service at a more affordable rate. Also, now that's it when we talk about Ebony Live TV. Of course, we watched now. That's not actually a small channel. For you to get this channel on DSTV, you have to subscribe completely, full subscription for you to get this. To tell you that what she shows there, her content in that TV, it's not something you get easily. She does a lot of things: education, entertainment, a lot of entrepreneurial, everything. you want to see, it's actually on Ebony Life TV. If you want to see that, you have to subscribe fully on DSTV. And also, she's also on Star Times, so you can also access it as affordable rates. That's it about Ebony Life TV. She is actually the owner, she's the CEO, and on that TV we've had a lot of movies. Later on, I'll be calling movies she had actually produced. She's also a producer, she's a scriptwriter, she's a director, she's an entrepreneur, she's a philanthropy, she's everything you can think of. She's actually a very, very unique lady. Now let's talk about her philanthropic acts now when it comes to Mo Abdul. She's actually a philanthropic, we all know that. Now Abdul is the founder of the Inspire African Foundation, a non-profit organization that focuses on raising funds for the implementation of societal and transformation initiatives. In 2009, the foundation launched a charity concert themed Work with a Conscience in partnership with other NGOs in order to raise funds to provide for street children. Now, also in partnership with Monero Construction, the foundation built the Harbour, a 100-bed home for street children in Lagos, and has a charity store named the Designer Outlet for Charity. Now, you see, someone like this, as high and mighty as she is, this is one woman I can beat my chest and say she will never go poor again. But she's still out there doing a lot for the needy, helping a lot of children. There's this particular video I even watched of her where she was addressing younger children to start up their career now. Now, you don't necessarily, she used herself as an example. She said she didn't start up herself early. She didn't notice, she didn't discover herself early. Now she's advising the younger generation out there to start now. Know who you are, know what you want now. It's not too late. Now let's take a look at this video. I will talk more on it after we'll play a clip of it. Do not go anywhere.
The fact that I've done little things along the way that's brought me to where I am today. And I can tell you that when I was your age, 1920, I had no idea at the time that this is what I wanted to be doing. I knew that I wanted to do something great. I know all of you have sat here and said you want to do great things. But the word of advice that I'll give, thinking back, is I wish that I had started doing what I'm doing now sooner. Do you understand? So the benefits that you have from speaking and engaging people like myself and the other speakers that you've had is the benefit of experience. Is that it's important to start thinking as quickly as you can about some of those things. You see, we have to be specific. They always say when you set goals, they must be smart. Do you understand what the SMART, the SMART principle? And the SMART principle is based on the fact that your goals must be specific. So S stands for specific. Yeah? M stands for the fact that you must be able to measure your goals. Yeah? R stands for the fact that they must be realistic, and T, they must be time-bound. Now, A, I believe, stands for you must be able to achieve. So achievable. So you've got specific, you've got measurable, you've got achievable, you've got realistic, you've got time-bound. So, because at times we set ourselves, there's no point in setting ourselves up to fail. And that's not to say that we shouldn't have big dreams. But we need to ensure that whatever big dreams we have, we break those dreams down so that we can achieve those dreams in bite sizes. So if I go back, for example, let me just take Ebony Life Television. Let me just take Moments with Mo as an example. Yeah? So here I am, and I say, I want to start a talk show. Now, I had never done anything like that in my life before. I'd worked in oil and gas for many years. I then I resigned and crossed over to running my own consultancy business. And then one day I wake up and say, I want to become a talk show hostess. But then what were the different steps I was going to have to take? I mean, what did I have to do? I first had to go and learn about what it was to become a talk show hostess. That meant watching a lot of other people that have done this job before. So the person that I saw as the person that I could look up to that most resembled what I wanted to do was Oprah Winfrey. So I then invested and ordered, she had a box set of then I think her 20 or 25th year anniversary of all the episodes that she had recorded. And that for me was my job for the next few months. I watched and watched and watched those episodes for a very long time to just understand what it was to engage and to interview. That was the first thing I did. The next thing I did was I got a tutor, because running my consultancy business, we have a training and development arm. So one of my best facilitators was a gentleman called Tony Osime. So I said, Tony, I want to go on TV, I want to be a presenter, but I don't know how to do this. And there's nothing wrong. Don't be ashamed and say you know it, because if you don't know it, you don't know it. Teach me how to present. So every weekend, he and I would sit in a room, we would have a camera like this. I would sit back and I would imitate as if I was on a show. Hello and good morning, or hello and good afternoon. My name is so, and on the show today, we're going to do X, Y, Z. And then we'd play the tape back and he would say, no, that's not how it's done. Look how Oprah did it. Look how Ellen DeGeneres did it. Look how this. We had different, relevant personalities out there that we were referring to. Now, when I saw that he himself was not exactly a trainer for TV presenting, but I thought, let me get started with that. I then said to myself, I'm going to invest further and go on a training course in the UK. So I went to the usual place where we all do research. I went to the website, I went online, Googled how to become a TV presenter training courses in the UK, and I saw various ones, and I decided to attend one at the London School of Media. So I sent myself off to London to learn. I had turned 40 at that time.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did you start the show then, or you were just
training? No, I was still training. This was all training. I can't say I'm going to do this thing. I don't know how to do it. At this point, all I knew is that I wanted to do this thing. But first of all, let me go.
And of course, we've heard how she addressed the younger ones and how to begin their career, how to start discovering themselves now, as to she never discovered what she wants earlier. She discovered herself at the late age, but then it never stopped her from achieving or from getting to where she wants to get to. Today on People in the News, we're talking about Mo Abudu. Mo Abudu is a Nigerian media mogul, philanthropist, and former human resource management consultant. She has been described by Forbes as Africa's most successful woman and rated as one of the 25th most powerful woman in global television by the Hollywood Reporter. Forbes also recognized her as the first African woman to own a Pan-African TV channel. Of course, we heard about her Ebony Life TV. She's the first woman. She has actually made a big name for herself. She has actually paved waves for herself. She's actually doing a lot despite the fact that she's an African woman. She's doing great things for herself. But then people get to ask, how did she even start her career? How did she even get to this point she is today? Let's hear this directly from her as we take a quick look on this clip on how she started her career.
For me, I believe that deep down in my subconsciousness has always been the need to tell the African story. So it's a commercial venture, but it's also a social venture for me. So for me, I don't see the divide between work and play. So my staff get emails from me at 3 o'clock in the morning and think I'm absolutely crazy. But so the journey started for me officially, I would say, about 10 years ago. But I'll say that it's been a much, much longer journey than that. Now, I was born in England, but between age 0 and 7 and 11 to whenever it was that I spent the rest of my life here before I went back as a married woman, you find that you do get asked really interesting questions by non-Africans. They will ask you if you live in a hut. They will ask you if you live under a bridge. They will ask you if you speak African, but there is no such language as African. Africa is a continent with millions of different languages. And I found that my children, years and years later, came back to the United Kingdom, to school. My son went to Harrow, my daughter went to Malvern, and they were being asked similar questions 20 or 30 years later. And therefore, I felt it was time. I was really afraid, because I was working in ExxonMobil as head of human resources, to say that it was time to take the plunge and put aside administrative work and really start to tell this journey, start this journey of telling the African story. I have no media experience up until that point. I've never been trained in media. So the first thing I did was to obviously go on a training course and learn how to speak hello and good morning or good afternoon and welcome to Moments with Mo and whatever it is that one has to say. So for me, the journey started pretty much from those sort of baby steps to getting out there and sharing the story. So yes, it did become a commercial venture, because I think sometimes when you're filling a gap that is so needed, then you find the commerce of that business starts to make absolute sense to what it is that you're doing. I was able to go out and speak to advertisers and speak to sponsors and convince them that there was a need for us to start sharing our stories, successful stories, sometimes stories that were not necessarily about some of the great things happening, but women. It could be an issue of domestic violence, of a woman that's overcome the violence. It could be fashion, it could be music, it could be great things also. So the reason for our being was really to start showcasing some of the great things that were happening across the continent and to shed light and balance on some of those other issues that was getting absolutely no airtime at all. So in that regard, it started to make commercial sense to me as an entrepreneur, and we're able to take advantage of that and build upon that success year after year. Women's with Mo has probably recorded over 2 or 3, over 800, episodes in that time period.
Now you've heard how she started her career. It's actually not an easy journey, if you ask me, coming from someone who had no experience about media, but then wants to give voice to African, wants to see that our names, our image out there are being recognized, are being respected. Even though she had no idea where to start from or how to go about it, but then she put herself together to see that today she's there, she's where she wants to be. She's actually making her huge name. She has actually spoken the voice of African out there to the world. I would say a huge kudos to Mo Abdul, because she's one legend. I call her legend. She's one legend I respect so more, and I really wish I would someday get to meet her in person. It's actually not impossible. I really wish so, because I have a lot I want to learn from that woman. She has said how she started her career. She never had the experience. She was into oil. She was just there, but then somehow she made herself. She found her way, and then she's here today. And then we have shows like she has shows of live TV, Ebony Live TV, and then Talk to Mo, and then you see Moments with Mo. You see shows like that. Those are things we want to see more happening. And then let's talk about some of the tips. As a successful woman, she has come out to give some tips to women out there, to people out there, on how to be successful. Yes, she said, choose your partner wisely. Choose your partner wisely. It's a very important one. Now, we're not talking about marital partner. People you want to work with, people that have the same vision, have the same dream with you, people that will not discourage you, people that will not tell you, okay, let's take a look at her. Let's use her as a case study. She had no experience about media. She had no experience. But then if she had not chose the right partners, people would have told her, how come? Why would you say you want to be a presenter? Why would you say you want to work with the media when you have no experience? People would talk her down. People would talk it down. People would kill the zeal. People would kill the passion. People would kill her dream. So for you to be successful, you need to be very careful about the people you surround yourself with, about the people you talk to, about the people you want to work with. Here she says, being smart about choosing your partner is important. It's such a big industry. It's actually a big industry. A film is made on the back of the efforts of hundreds of people, from those carrying power cable to the ones writing scripts, serving meals, shining in front of the camera, and putting together the deals that bring the project to the screen, says Abdul. If you think you can do it alone, you are wrong. Yeah, but as much as you need partners to help you make a success of it, you need to make sure you target the right partners, actually, who shares not only your vision but your drive. Making movies is hard work. Chief Daddy was a full Nigeria effort. We are proud of the team and talent we have locally. Now, these are one of the advice she gave for success. For you to be successful, you need to surround yourself with the right people. And she also went further to say, information is your compass. If you know better, you will do better. Yeah, if you know better, you will do better. Information is very, very important. Yeah, she says, speaking of knowledge, Abdul has a genuine belief that it's the foundation of power. Knowledge is the foundation of power. Information is your compass. If you know better, you will do better. She says, you need to explore all the possibilities you can think of and be smart enough to make the right decisions when unexpected opportunities come your way. Don't be shy to explore and research what other people have done to succeed. And don't forget to ask about their failures too. Now, she said, information is your compass. If you know better, you will do better. Now, do not be shy. What you don't know, you don't know. What you know, you know. I think I heard that in one of her clips. She said, what you don't know, don't be shy to say you don't know. Of course you don't know. And now, don't be shy of failure. Failure shouldn't stop you. Now, once you fail, you pick yourself up and move again. Try again. I love her spirit. So when I listen to that clip, I've played it. If you listen to the clip, she said it personally. Do not be shy to say you don't know. There is nothing you can do once you don't know. But once you say it out there, somebody might put you through, someone might show you the right path to take. Those are the success tips she gave today. And then she also said, don't be afraid to aim high. Now, some persons think that because they don't have certain amount of money or because they are not in a certain position, they just tend to aim within, they just tend to aim low. But here she's saying, more about the saying, do not be afraid to aim high. Why being realistic is important, it's equally important to aim high. Why should you not pitch the product you've poured your heart, soul, and money into to global players like Netflix? Now, you know, she's a movie producer. She's into movies. She's also a presenter. In fact, she's versatile. She's everywhere. Now, when you talk about her now, and for that thing, you have put more effort. You've put your money. You've put everything. Why should you just believe that it shouldn't go high? Now, when she brought out that movie, I think she brought out The Wedding Party, Chief Daddy. We watched them in cinemas. We watched them in Netflix. Now, that's how high she wants you to aim. Ask Abdul, as successful as we are in Nollywood, we are always looking at ways to assess the African diaspora, amplify our projects, and generally take things to the next level. Hollywood films are a staple around the world because they made it so themselves. We are moving into a space where we want to make our local stories for a global audience. It's time for the rest of the world to buy into the Nollywood appeal. Now, these are the tips she has given us. She said, don't be afraid to aim high. Now, whatever you're doing, even if it's not into movie, even if you're not into movie, even if you're just selling something small on the streets, now think high. Just believe that one day you'll be in a supermarket, you'll be somewhere selling that thing in a big way. That's what she meant. And then information is your compass. She said, if you know better, you will do better. Now, Always be in that spirit to want to know. If you don't know, do not be ashamed to, or be shy to say, I do not know. Failure shouldn't stop you. That's one thing she also said. She said, choose your partner wisely. In this aspect, she didn't mean that you should talk. She wasn't referring to marital partner. Marital partner is also very important, but here she's talking about the people you surround yourself with, the people you talk to, the people you mingle with. These are the success tips. As a successful woman, she spoke at length. I'm just bringing you brief. I've played videos for you to watch, and then you see where she spoke to women on how to be successful, and she gave tips, a whole lot of tips on how to be successful. So moving forward, we'll be talking about her movies. Of course, Mo Abdul has shot, produced a whole lot of movies. If you've not watched her movie, do well to go on Netflix, go to cinemas, go to your DSTV, Go TV, Start Times. You will get to see a whole lot of her films. She has shot a lot of interesting, when I mean interesting, I mean very interesting movies. I'll be telling you more about the movies after this short break. Now, do not go anywhere. Mo Abdul has actually dropped a lot of hit movies. Now, do not go anywhere. I'll be right back with the movies she has made so far.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtimes having a clock.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ice Prince Amani.
Ginger, aka Swagga Swagga. My name now is Femi, aka the Music and Taliban.
What up, Nigeria? K to the O to the NGA Conga.
Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night. The Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
Nigerian Week in London.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week. The Nigerian Week.
On the 19th of this beautiful month of May 2023.
May 19th.
May 19, 2023. Let's go get your ticket.
Go get your ticket because we're gonna shut it down.
Ice Prince Amani's in the building.
Yeah.
Go get your ticket.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of arts, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate for huge extra opportunity in diaspora. Look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15th to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2856. The Nigerian Week, celebrating the best of Nigeria from the rest.
Welcome back from that very quick break. Actually, well, I say it's a quick break, but yes, you're watching People in the News, and today we're talking about no other person but Mo Abdul. I call her Mo because that's the popular name people know her as. Just in case you don't know her as Mo Abdul, we are talking about Mosumola Abdul. Actually, Mosumola Abdul, also known as Mo Abdul, born on 11th September 1964 in Hammersmith, West London, to an engineer father and a caterer mother. She's the eldest of 3 sisters. She's also a mother and a grandmother. But then she's a grandmother. She's looking all kinky. She's looking so beautiful. She's always, I don't know, these are people I love. She's a grandma. She's a grandma. But then she's looking like a mother, just a mother. How will I say? She's just a mother. She packaged herself. She looks so beautiful. She's always fresh. That's the word. She's always fresh. And just before that break, where I said I was going to talk more about her movies, some of the movies she had made so far. So quite many, most, I feel almost all, if not all, in fact all for me are interesting, except for the ones I've not watched. For the ones I've watched, they are very, very interesting. And trust me, when I recommend a movie for you, that means that movie is 100% interesting, or 99. Let me just leave the 1% for whoever wants to take it. But that movie is 99% interesting. And now hitting quickly to some of the movie Mo Abdul has made so far. We're talking about A Sunday Affair. Actually, this movie was executive producer. She was the executive producer in that movie. And then 2023, this is recent movie. Actually, this is a recent movie, and I think I've not watched it. I will have to go to the cinema to watch it. 2023. And then we also have Alasin Oba, The King's Horseman. Yes, I watched that movie last year, 2022. Creative producer. She was the creative producer. And that movie is so interesting. I felt something different from the normal Nollywood movies I watched. This one is extremely different. The settings, the makeup, the costume, everything about that movie was so good, and I love it. I'm referring you, I'm asking you, if not watch Alasin Oba, The King's Horseman, find your way to the cinema, or find yourself, go to a neighbor shop, movie or films store right now, and pick yourself a plate. You need to watch that. And then of course, this one, the Blood Sisters. Now we're talking about Blood Sisters. She was the executive producer, TV mini series, Blood Sisters, actually, 2022. If you've not watched it, find yourself. She is the executive producer, and it's a TV mini series, 2022. And then we have Chief Daddy. You see this one, Chief Daddy too. Actually, when I watched Chief Daddy, I was like, wow, really, Nigerians, our industry, our Nollywood industry is actually growing. I hear people say, what's Nigeria if you're acting? What are we acting? But I bet you, Nigerian movie industry, the Nollywood industry is growing. If you like, except you just naturally hate Nigerian movies, like you just don't like us, and you're in Nigeria, and then pack your load and leave our country for us. Now, this movie, Chief Daddy, it's one movie I will beat my chest, even if you wake me from sleep and ask me to list my top 5 favorite movies. Now, this movie is one of my best, Chief Daddy. And then she's the executive producer. And then we have the Yoruba movie Olutore, executive producer, 2019. And so we have 50. Hey, you see the stress I used to call this 50. Okay, before I even watched that movie 50, most people were like, Pat, have you watched 50? Have you watched 50? And I'm like, why the name 50? What's it about the movie? But I bet you, when I watched that movie 50, I did not allow people to rest. I posted it on my page. I posted it on my status. If you've not seen 50, then you've not seen movies. I'm telling you, if you've not watched 50 as a movie, you've not watched movie. Now find yourself a plate of that movie. Start now. Go and watch it. 50. She was the executive producer. It's a TV series, actually, 2017. It's a TV series. Now watch it. The Wedding Party. Okay, The Wedding Party, personally, I had to take myself. Normally, I think I have this mentality that when I'm going to the cinema, then a friend is taking me there. Probably you pay the whole thing, because I don't believe I should go to the cinema to watch. I just feel it will definitely land on my phone someday. That movie will come to my phone. Probably I will have to download it or watch it by Netflix. But then, because of The Wedding Party, I took myself to the cinema. Like, The Wedding Party is the first movie I actually watched in the cinema. I went to the cinema to watch The Wedding Party. That's to tell you, I kept hearing this movie ringing bells everywhere, left, right, and center. The Wedding Party, have you seen The Wedding Party? Have you watched The Wedding Party? I was like, The Wedding Party, like, I don't get it. What's it about this movie? But then I took myself there and also watched The Wedding Party. I think she's the executive producer, 2016. That was when The Wedding Party 1 came out. And then On the Real, there's a movie called On the Real. It's actually a TV series, also executive producer. And then we're talking about The Governor. Now, if you see the front page of this movie, The Governor, how the lady is just seated on red and the men behind her. Like, I love movies like that where I see women contesting for political positions. I love it so much. I love it so much. Now, I know for sure that this movie, The Governor, is going to be very interesting. Though I haven't watched, in as much as this movie has been out since 2016, I cannot remember vividly. It's possible I've watched it, but then I cannot remember what really played out. Then I'm going to watch it again because of the front cover, the front page of this movie. What I'm seeing here is very attractive, and so kudos to Mo Abdul. And then we also have a movie here, Desperate Housewives. Oh, when you don't talk movie like this, you just see that it's all the women that all these crazy women that are all the actors and actresses in that movie. I really, if you've not watched Desperate Housewives, find yourself a plate to watch. It's actually since 2015. And what I'm seeing here, the cover page. Now, I think one thing about this lady, she knows what to put at the front of her movies to attract audience, to attract people, to attract, because almost all the movies here, the front page, the front cover, it's very beautiful and very attractive. Now, if you've not watched Desperate Housewives, find yourself one. These are some of the movies Mo Abdul has actually produced. She has actually featured. She's the executive producer of almost all of it. And then we have Dowry. Now, Dowry, wow. If you've not watched it, get yourself married to. We have Deadline. We have Deadline. This is actually another movie. Sisters, Ojo's in the House. Quite a whole lot of movie. We have Love and War, and then the fattening room. And the fattening room has been since 2013. Now you can see how far she's gone. These are some of the movies, not all, that are lady that has actually produced. These are some of her movies. Now you find yourself in the cinema, do well to watch. Our movie are actually making waves. I can beat my chest on Chief Daddy. If you've not seen Chief Daddy, I keep repeating it. If you've not seen Chief Daddy, then you've not seen movie. The Wedding Party, you've not seen movie. Until even this Alassane Oba, the King's Horseman, that movie is a different thing entirely. It's out of the Nigeria way of acting movies. It's a different setting. It's a different thing entirely. It's ranging from the costume, the makeup, everything. I keep saying it. If you've not seen that movie, find yourself one to watch. Those are some of the movie Our Lady, Mo Abdul has actually made. You're actually watching the people in the news. In case you're just joining us, this is people in the news, and today we are talking about Mo Abdul. We talked about her family, her education, her career, her philanthropic art, her success story, her business, how she started, her movies, and right now we'll be rounding up this section with some of the awards she has made so far. Of course, she has made a lot of awards for herself. Who wouldn't? With all her work, with all the things she has done, with how she has helped a lot of women, with how she has impacted. Of course, there's a lot of awards for her right now. And then I'll start with the popular. She has made award both home and abroad. She has gotten award both nationally and internationally. Those are the awards she has gotten so far. And so we have awards like okay, I need a minute right there. We're talking about Mo. We've talked about her family, her career, her business, her life. We talked about her TV. Of course, I shouldn't forget that. The Ebony Life TV, we spoke about it, and right now we're talking about her award. Here are some of her achievements and honors. 25th most powerful woman in global TV by Hollywood Reporter 2013. That was one of the award, one of her achievements. She was tagged the 25th most powerful woman in global TV by Hollywood Reporter, and the first woman to own a Pan-African TV channel. This is coming from Forbes African 2013. Now, she's the first woman to own a Pan-African TV channel. This is actually a huge one, if you ask me. And then we also have honorary doctorate degree, honoris causa from Babcock University 2014. We also have a award here that says Entrepreneur of the Year at International Women's Day Forum in New York 2014. I'll take that again. Entrepreneur of the Year at International Women's Day Forum in New York 2014. Now this is international award. And then we have Movie Producer of the Year English at City People Movies Award 2015. A whole lot of award has been given to her. And then we also have listed as one of Forbes Africa most successful women 2015, as one of course, if you really want to know who I'm talking about, you need to quickly go to your Google, just look for Mo Abudu. Mo Abudu. Just type Mo Abudu. That's it. It's to pop up on your screen, and then you get to see all her stories, everything she has done, how she managed to pave waves, how she managed to overcome obstacles. I believe she had a lot of challenge, and then she overcame, she passed through them, and she's that place today. She's this high, she's very high, if you ask me, today. And then we have the Fame Award of Excellence. Fame Award of Excellence in 2017. And so we also have award here. There are a whole lot of awards, but I'm mentioning few. Special recognition at City People Movie Award 2017. And then we also have the IOD Entrepreneurial Award by Institute of Directors Nigerian 2017. Now this is internal. When I say she has received award both home and abroad, I mean both national and internationally. She has collected a whole lot of awards. And then we have African Achievers Award at UK House of Commons 2018. And then we also have 50 women making impact in the showbiz by Variety Magazine 2018. And then we have Glacier Persons of the Year Award 2018. We also have MIPTV's Medleys Honorary Award 2019. And these are some of the awards she has made so far. Only me as a person, if I have those awards, will I still be walking on the ground? Will I still be on the ground, or I will be walking on air, if you ask me? Because these awards are huge awards. These are big things. These are big awards, if you ask me. And then only her, I just mentioned few, not all. Who knows? Not all, actually. And then this woman is doing great, especially for the women. I think we have to tell her a huge thank you coming from SRTV Studio, ma. We really, really appreciate everything you have done for us as women to women. We really appreciate it. And these are people we look up to. These are people that we call influencer. Actually, these are people that should influence me. If you ask me, influence me, ma. I'm all open. These are people we look up to as role models. People that are doing great. People that has helped a lot of women, bring them into limelight, bring them into the movie industries, bring them into presenting media houses, bring them into fashion, use them entrepreneur skills, give them entrepreneurial skills. People that has given a lot of tips, successful tips about how to be successful, and how she even went as far as sharing her story on how she managed to scale through despite the fact that she had no experience on media. She was she worked with an oil company. She's doing well for herself, but then she needed a change in career, which could actually mean nothing is impossible once you are determined. Now, determination is one key we need to get as a person, as a citizen. You need to be determined. Once you need something, once your heart is craving for something, then you need to be determined that I will get that thing, no matter the obstacle. I will pass through it. I will get it. Now, determination is a very, very important key we need. Today on the people in the news, we're talking about no other person but Mo Abdul. Mo Abdul is the first of three sisters and married Tokumbo Abdul, a lawyer and businessman. They have two children, and then she's also related through her husband to Feyikemi Abdul, aka FK Abdul, a Nigerian influencer and entrepreneur. She's a mother and also a grandmother. Thank you so much for your impact. We love you from the depth of our hearts. Okay, this is actually a perfect place to call the show a wrap. We'll be doing this again next week, Friday. We'll bring you another dignitary. We'll bring you another person making way, paving ways out there. We'll bring you another person making the news. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us as we have a lot of entertainment on SRTV Studio, ranging from relationship, we have politics, we have fashion, we have a lot happening here on SRTV Studio. So do well to share our page. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody that something is happening on SRTV Studio, and then you will be highly entertained. My name is Patience OKOSUN, and you have been with me on the people in the news. We'll do this again same time next week. Have a nice day. Bye.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtimes having a.
What's up, y'all?